All right, guys, I've got a really quick video for you, right? I'm gonna be teaching every single person out there watching this right now, beginners, newbies, whoever just first picks up a rope, how to get your right rope length, all right? Depending on your height, depending on your style, depending on what feels comfortable. Now, I just received a message, a really important message, which has led me to create this video today, all right? I've got a message from someone called David who's watched my stuff on Instagram, and he's wrote this, okay? He's just watched one of my videos and he goes, "This is not clean at all. The rope is too long. It goes too high over the head, which causes it to pull the elbows backwards. By shortening the rope, the hands will naturally place at the hips and it will respond faster. It looks like an elephant."
I was a knight in shining.
Do not follow this example. Okay, David, I'm sure he's not watching, but he makes a really important point here, right, that I'll need to share with you guys. If you just got your rope, follow these few steps that I'm about to show you because they're super important, okay? So David thinks, first of all, that me having my rope too long, I look like an elephant. All right, let's remove that. That's not important. But he says it makes me pull my elbows backwards. Now, he's got a point here in the sense that the rope being longer, I have to accommodate by having my elbows back. So when you've watched me skip, or if you've ever seen me do some bits before with the rope, you'll know that my elbows tend to come backwards. It's something that feels really comfortable for me, for my body type, for my flow, for the way I like the rope to move, how to look, how to feel. You get my drift, okay? So my elbows coming back accommodates for me having a longer rope. Now, David then goes on to say, I should have my rope lower down. Now, I've just made a video on this talking about why I don't like to do freestyle, for example. Most freestylers or people who do rope releases, mic releases, all that kind of stuff, they tend to have their hands way down here and they have a shorter rope, which just clears a few inches maybe off their top of their head. Now, this has always felt uncomfortable for me. I cannot get into the positions I want to get into to just build my combinations, etc., etc. So if you are just starting out, this is the crux of today's video, right? If you're just starting out, I want you to do a couple of things to find out your right rope length. When you get a rope, especially let's say you get a rope from me and it comes out of the box, I want you to start skipping with it at full length, okay? Don't go check online and try and find the perfect rope for your height and look this up. Don't do that. What I want you to do is just start skipping. Now, what you'll probably find is the rope will be so long, it's going to start to make you feel like you have to have your hands way out here, right? Just so that it doesn't drag along the floor, right? We're getting there. Stay with me. This is important because what then I want you to do is to start shortening your rope until your hands and your wrists, they start to sit in a position that feels nice, right? That feels really comfortable. That feels like you could do this forever, right? And not feel, I don't know, awkward, uncomfortable. So if I was to do this exercise from the beginning and pretend as if this was the first time I'm picking up a rope, my hands will naturally want to be here. My elbows will naturally want to be beside my body. They want to kind of point up a bit, back a bit. Some people, they like to have their elbows inverted here, right? They pronate, they supinate their wrists in different ways. They have their wrists lower down. And this is the way you're going to try and learn what is the right rope length for you, because what you need to try and do, this is the most important thing, is anytime you have a rope in your hands, people, I want you to make sure that when it's spinning, when it's rotating, when it's got its revolutions, when you're going at it, whatever you're doing, you have a very light clip on the floor. That's the main point of today's video. If you have that little bounce, that little clip off the floor, the rope length, and you feel comfortable, the rope length is right for you, right? If you find it dragging, and then bouncing up on your shins or on your feet and you're tripping, it's because it's bouncing too far in front. Or alternatively, if it's not even clipping the floor and it's just in midair, if that makes sense, and you're just sort of tripping on your toes just like that, then you know it's too short for you, right? So you tinker until you can skip and feel like this rope has a really nice connection with the floor and it's just clipping, right? It's not feeling like it's dragging. You're not feeling like you're having to exert pressure to get the rope around you. This is what's going to lead to rope breaks. It's going to damage your rope. You're going to see scuffs, a lot of scuffs on your rope. You're going to tear it up on the concrete or wherever you are, even on mats, you're going to damage your rope. So that is the whole point of today's video. And David, who's basically wants me to skip uncomfortably, he says I look like an elephant. It's all nonsense, all right? People who talk like this or on websites and things like that say your rope needs to be 3 meters above your head or 2 meters, depending on if you're 6 foot or whatever it is. It doesn't make sense because not every single person skips the same way around the world. So I want you guys to feel comfortable. I want you to look out for how your rope reacts with the floor. And I want you to make sure that wherever your wrists sit, right? You adjust the rope accordingly. So if you're someone who likes to have your wrists out, you might have someone who's got big triceps, big lats, big shoulders, and you can't get your elbows back, which is normal. I've seen people like this. They'll naturally have their wrists maybe lower and a little bit out, and that's fine. So they have to cut their rope or shorten it. If you're someone like me who can get my elbows back, and you know, when I'll do my doubles, I like to see a narrow arc rather than a wider arc, right? So that means my wrists are closer. I'm gonna have a longer rope again, because I just don't want that feeling of being uncomfortable having my wrists restricted and down low. So quick video today, people, man. It's just about rope length. Listen, keep the comments coming, keep the questions coming. Happy to assist. If there's any more out there, especially for my beginner family out there, yeah, drop them in the comments. I'll get it done for you, man. Fly strong, people, man. This is the best thing that you could ever put in your gym bag or have at your house or whatever you do. Best thing you can do to engage your body and mind the right way. So I'll see you in the next video. So take care of yourself. Skip the treadmill. Stay safe. Peace.
Was the knight in shining armor in your movie? Would put your lips on mine and love the aftertaste now.